Good morning. It's time to talk antiques once again, and we're all here.
The whole gang.
The whole gang.
He's all here.
All right.
Plus, we're making a picker out of our producer. Well, I was saying earlier that
he was a picker. We just didn't realize.
yeah, you give him about a year, and his wife threatening to throw him
You don't
out.
have one of them.
So I
we
don't
don't?
have to worry about that. I can get it.
Okay.
I can just fill up the shed.
So you're in good shape.
Hey, you got the receipt to prove that you don't have one. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, Ronnie, we're going to talk about Houdini, model trains, the smallest gun in the world, and then a Civil War auction that's coming up.
Yeah, and you got some really interesting stuff to start us out with there.
Yeah. Well, you know, the latest movie, and I just asked Ronnie how much the new Star Wars movie grossed, The Force Awakens, it's a 2015, which was a blockbuster. You said just in ticket sales alone,
Domestically, over $2 billion.
$2 billion, not counting overseas,
Not
not
yet.
counting the toys, not
Right.
counting whatever else. You said now you can even get the, how much is a DVD?
It's around $20.
Huh. Wonder how many millions of them they'll sell.
They'll sell a ton of them.
Yeah.
Probably as many as they get
Okay.
tickets.
And I can say this because most people seen the Star Wars movie. Did you see it, the new Star Wars movie?
I haven't seen the new one.
Well, then you ain't most people. Most people have, and Ray hadn't. I have.
I watched it weekend before last
Okay, have you seen it?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
on the DVD.
Oh, you watched it DVD? Okay, well, we actually went to the theater.
Yeah, I had
know
it
that's
playing.
what you did too.
I got both.
I watched it 3 or 4 times, really.
Yeah, ain't it nice?
It's a good movie.
Okay, so you seen the jacket that Harrison Ford was wearing? Okay, that jacket he signed it and donated it to a charity. Now we're just talking
Just-
a black leather jacket.
Not
that-
nothing fancy.
Well, anybody that watched Star Wars seen it though, but it did have. It looks like it's got the bullets right there. Is that what that looks like to you? What's that look like?
Yeah.
Do you
looks
remember
like
that in the
the
movie? The
No,
bullets?
I don't.
Well, you don't pay attention to much, do you? Well, anyway, that jacket brought $191,000
Ain't that something?
for a charity, which is great. You know, he signed the jacket and
But-
donated it.
Some Star Wars collector got him a nice jacket.
Well, it says that 50 of them done the lightsaber thing to bid on it. You know,
Oh, yeah?
50 Star Wars upper Star Wars
Right.
collectors. I'm down at the very bottom when it
No,
comes.
you're really not.
I'm not.
You know.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I ain't gonna give $191,000 for a jacket.
You got some really nice Star Wars
Yeah,
stuff.
well, and then of course the highest Star Wars piece that ever sold. Do you ever watch? Have you watched any of the Star Wars? Okay, well you
I saw
might.
the first 6.
Okay, have you seen Star Wars Episode 4: The New Hope?
Yes.
A New Hope. Okay, that camera that they used, one of the cameras that they used to film that, it was 35 millimeter Panavision camera. That thing brought $625,000.
Wow.
$625,000. You got a camera worth that?
And there's a happy collector
Kinda
out there
strange.
somewhere that he's got it.
It seems like you'd have something that was more iconic to the movie than
What's
just the camera that was used.
Why?
I mean,
You know, they developed that system. They put those cameras on the rails and developed all that just for
True,
that movie.
yeah.
That's why when you
I wonder how many of those cameras they had, though.
I don't know, but when you first saw that movie, you walked out there, out of the theater, like you'd never seen anything like that in your life.
you hadn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and you hadn't.
You hadn't.
Okay,
Do you know the original worth of the camera? Just out of curiosity.
I'd say nowhere near that.
I'm gonna. Well, I don't know. It might have been 50,000. I don't know what the.
Probably.
What you think so?
Yeah.
You kind of know about it. Well, anyway, okay. So the next thing, and this is I love Antique Weekly, and I love
I do
eBay.
too.
Both of those things have taught me a lot. Okay, the next thing, interesting article in there was about this typewriter. It was one of the first typewriters invented in Europe, and this typewriter brought $123,000.
That was mid 1800s.
Well, it was 1865.
65.
At the end of the Civil War, by the way.
Yeah, right at it.
Okay, and then the next article in here, there's a lot of articles, but I just picked 4 to talk about to start out with. A 12-cent comic book brought $454,000. And that 12-cent comic book was the first Amazing Spider-Man. That's when he first was introduced. And that thing brought $454,000, like I said, and $100.
And it's a nice comic book.
A 12-cent comic book. Yeah, it's all about grade. Mm-hmm. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but like you were saying, there's some Supermans.
But we're only talking about 1962's when Spider-Man was
Yeah.
introduced.
Yeah.
So it's not really that old of a comic. You know, like Superman was
He's not nowhere near as old as Superman.
Superman was either 1938 when he first came out or 1939. One
I'm
of those
thinking
two.
late 30s.
Yeah, it was either 38 or 39. And then another interesting article in this magazine is about this gold toilet.
Yeah.
That's a piece of artwork that's actually functional. It's a 18 karat. Would you say that is that Guggenheim Museum? Is that how you?
Guggenheim.
Guggenheim, yeah.
Okay, that's where it is, and it's in the unisex bathroom. But they had a little problem about it. But it's 18 karat gold. It's a work of art, but also you can actually use the toilet.
I've put in solid
The
gold
commode.
faucets before.
Have you ever
when
put
I
in a
was- when I
solid
was
gold
young.
commode, 18 karat?
No, but I was wondering if you would buy me one to go in that house
I will.
somewhere.
I will.
Good.
Can it be gold plated?
I'd like to.
First of all, can you even gold plate porcelain?
I
don't think so. Well, anyway, so
Need one like that.
so that's 4 interesting stories. And when you get into comic books, though, I'm
you
telling
can
you,
spend what you want on them things. Especially those old Superman.
do that real quick. Do vintage comic books, and let's just see what's the latest thing that's
Got to be that Superman.
Well, it's
Let's do
over.
it.
That didn't it bring $4 million or something, that last Superman one?
Yeah.
That's a lot of bucks.
I'm telling you.
And then
We're looking for current or
vintage.
history.
Vintage, yeah,
We're
just
looking
do
for
completed
history.
auction. Now, do that completed, sold. I mean, not completed, sold. If you do completed, the reason we only do sold, I'm going to tell the audience, is because if you do completed, it brings up the ones that didn't sell
didn't
and the
sell.
ones that sell. And the ones that are sold are always in green. But if you do just the sold, okay, here we go. What that bring?
$85,000 for the Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of Spider-Man, signed by Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee was the man on the comic books.
Yeah.
And then you got
Well, that's far cry from 454,000.
Now, there's an Amazing Fantasy. They're number 15, though.
Okay, well, what's some of the other ones there?
that's just the same issue.
Okay.
That one just wasn't signed by Stan Lee,
Yeah.
and it brought 26,000.
Well, that's nothing like the 454, is it? Neither one of them.
No.
All right, what about, go on up and let's see some of the other ones. Go,
Well,
yeah,
we got
like
the
you.
Keep Best offer was accepted on the first appearance of Wonder Woman, All-Star Comics number 8.
So it brought in the
close
70
to
range.
75,000.
I'd say it did.
Amazing. Oh, it's
There, is that the Hulk?
Batman
Or,
number
Luke
one.
Cage, Hero for Hire, number 1, $24,000.
ooh,
They graded a 9.8, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, I'm surprised that those comic books grade very well anyway, and I guess they consider the condition of them because of the paper itself.
Yes.
You know, I know as kids that you can go back and look at some of your comic books now. If you still got some of them, they're yellow.
I got boxes of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Are they yellow?
Some of them are.
Yeah, or
from
brown,
heat.
or dark brown.
They're just storage here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
What's else? You got a Batman there.
Batman number 1, 1940, $22,857 with 83 bids.
and look at the grade on that one.
Where's the grade? 3.5.
That's not very good.
Not very good.
Because the reason we say that 10 is probably the best. I guess they
That's
graded
what
it.
I think.
Yeah. All right. What else you got there?
There's another one of that first appearance of Spider-Man. 23,500 best offer was accepted.
So it has to be in that range.
Yeah. What was the grade on that? It was 4.5.
Yeah. So it's not.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
This 454,000 must have graded high. I don't see
There's
the
an
grade on
Incredible
it.
Hulk signed by Stan Lee.
The first appearance of Aquaman at 35,000 with best offer accepted. Incredible Hulk number 1, 5.5 grade,
Which is about
signed by
mid-range.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
21,000 with best offer accepted. I'd like to have a comic book worth $21,000.
You know, I have a Stan Lee signature on a comic book.
I'd love to have a
I do
signed
have
Stan
one,
Lee.
and I think it's Batman. I don't know why, but I think that's what it is.
Oh, you need to be digging him
I don't know
out.
why he
That'd
would have
be
signed
odd, yeah. It wouldn't seem like you'd have a
Yeah.
Batman.
I think it is.
You need to be digging him out.
Yeah, that might be a real rarity, you
Well,
reckon?
look how much they're bringing.
They might have paid him though $100 to sign the Batman one.
I think that would be even better, you know,
Yeah.
the rarity of it,
Yeah.
because Stan Lee didn't. With those,
Yeah, he had nothing to do
he
with
had
Batman.
nothing to do with Batman. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, well, I guess that's pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what now, just real quick while you're there, let's look up some Star Wars stuff,
Okay.
completed auctions. And we know,
And type in AFA.
so you want all the greatest stuff, is that what you're doing? Okay.
That's the good stuff.
Not sold. Yeah. Okay. Star Wars vintage Kenner Darth Vader loose action figure AFA 90 with rare double telescoping lightsaber, $22,200
That's a first run.
with 33 bids to get
30
to.
bird.
That's all graded card stuff.
That's loose.
A loose figure.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like this other stuff
Yeah.
below it.
Yeah.
But those loose figures, if you've got if you've got an early bird
Yeah,
that's in good condition,
you got something.
and yes.
Were all the early birds loose figures anyway?
Well, no.
Or did they come in a package?
They come in little shipping boxes, little white
Yeah,
boxes.
but they weren't on a card.
But they weren't
That's
on
what
a
it-
card in
No,
plastic.
no,
though,
no,
so you can't find one
No.
that's in a
But
pack.
now, I have run up on them in the original shipping boxes.
Wow.
Hey, I tell you what you do. Scroll back up to the top again. Knock off that AFA, and let's just see if there's any movie memorabilia. There, now just go with that. Let's see what pops up now.
Well, that Vader loose figure is still number one.
Yeah.
But we have a Star Wars Captain Phasma Stormtrooper Clone Trooper costume for
First order.
18,100. Oh, that was the really cool Stormtrooper from the new movie.
Yeah.
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 That's
Ain't
that's where the
That's why I wanted you to do that. Okay.
Dean Russo original painting of Princess Leia, 27.5.
Yeah.
What is that? It's a lightsaber and display. Force Awakens tribute for 15,788.
60 bids.
Yeah,
With
look
60,
at that.
I wonder why a lightsaber that wasn't that authentic brought $15,000.
I don't know.
I think maybe it's supposed to be a replica of Luke's.
Okay,
Is that what it is?
yeah.
I would think so.
Red Epic Dragon camera package, which is what the cameras that they were used to shoot the movies with, for $15,005. I don't know why that showed. Maybe it was used with it. And the Star Wars Luke Skywalker action figure double telescoping saber.
Now that's what's in the early bird set too,
Yeah.
isn't it, Ronnie?
Yes.
But
yes.
that's actually a package one there.
Yeah, packaged 19,000. Best offer accepted.
That would be, I was going to say 78, second run, right after the early bird stuff.
It was.
And then they quit making them after that.
And you've got an AT-AT
AT-AT.
for a collectible toy from The Empire Strikes Back for $11,000 with a buy it now.
I've had several of those.
Pickup only, which is kind of odd too. And then another Luke Skywalker AFA 85 unpunched package,
That's Power of the Force.
almost $11,000, 10.7.
Why is that so high, Ronnie?
Because they're the ones with the coins are getting hard to find.
Are they? Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize that's an
That's
actual
95.
coin. Okay.
Blue.
Huh.
I believe that's 1995.
And original Star Wars 1977 MOC. What's MOC?
Men on the card.
Okay, Men on Card collection. All 12 figures,
Now that's nice.
12 back A and B cards.
But they're not graded, are they?
No.
No.
Send them off and give them
$13,000 best offer was accepted.
That's, whoever bought them's going to make some money.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good deal.
Where'd you see 13,000?
Well, $12,999.99.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's 13,000. No matter how you look.
Empire Strikes Back, rare 80 graded 3-pack Imperial Stormtrooper set, $10,000 with one bid.
One more, and we got to take a break.
One more Luke Skywalker, $11,000
Is that
in the
that-
card.
That's the
That's a
second
12-pack.
run.
Okay.
Second run without the coin. So
No, that'll never have a coin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That
Oh,
never
that-
did.
It's not part of the
That's
force.
okay. I didn't realize.
All right.
Okay.
With that, let's take a break.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
All right, we're back. Max done told you that.
Max brought us back.
What did he say, 728-1320?
1320.
Yeah. You know, that's the same number they've had since we had Jiffy Burger. I don't know if it's ever been
That's the
changed.
only number
Wow.
I've ever known them to
Yeah.
have.
But what about that? Do you think it's ever been any other number?
I don't know. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know,
1320.
728 really is PA8. That's how it used to be in the 50s and early 60s. They didn't say 728. It said on the phone thing, it said PA8.
You know, I didn't
And
know
if
that.
you'll look at your dial, that is 728, PA8.
Yeah.
And Tullahoma was Glendale 5.
Really?
Glendale.
GL5, yeah.
I didn't know that.
GL5. Now look that up and that'll be 455.
I wonder where they come up with Glendale.
Well,
For Tullahoma.
GL. But everybody said that was Glendale. But it was GL5 and
That's
PA8. And I'm sure there's others.
And at one time, were there less than 7 digits in the local?
I'm sure there
number?
was. Oh, absolutely. Sure there was. But now think about it. Instead of saying 728, they said PA8. I don't know why. Maybe that's something you can figure out for us.
Yeah. We'll have to put our research department on that.
There you go.
You got a big team here. They could
right.
find that out.
That's right.
And remember, Tullahoma was GL5. And if you look at the on a rotary dial, that'll be 455. GL5.
That's really interesting.
I know it. I'm just full of
I
knowledge,
would
you
love
know
to know
it.
how they worked.
Well,
What
our
system
research
they
team is going to get right on it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week, won't we?
All right. Will we? Will we?
We'll add that to the list.
All right. Okay. We're going to talk about model railroads. They first became popular when department store owners started putting them in their window displays in the 1920s. You remember, Christmas time, you see the little trains in the windows. And so they've been around ever since. So, and today model railroading it's really popular with collectors and modelers. They've been available since the beginning of the railroads, but they weren't considered a hobby until the 1880s. Now, vintage model train collectors and hobbyists, they tend to specialize by scale or by brand, or you have 0 scales, HO scales, N scales, Z scales, and G scales. We was talking about that earlier. Now, O scales were built to 1 to 43 or 1 to 45, 1 to 48. HOs, they were introduced in the 30s, and that's short for a half O. It's about a 187th. N's is built to a 1/160th, so they're a little smaller.
Yeah.
They were first introduced in the 60s. G's were 1 to 22. Now that would be a bigger train, wouldn't it?
It sounds like it.
I think it's a big, real
That'd
big
be almost
train.
something you could ride.
Yeah, and now these a lot of hobbyists, they set up little tracks in their backyards with those trains that you can ride
Well,
on.
Buddy L actually had some backyard trains. I mean, that's if you look up Buddy L trains, they bring a lot of money too.
I bet they
Of course,
do. Yeah.
Marks, Lionel. I mean, there was several train manufacturers.
But that's what a lot of them would do is the modelers they like to set up their tunnels and their tracks and their mountains
Look
and
up
their
Buddy L trains.
stations.
Okay. And then do completed auction. You're gonna see some high dollar.
Now, while he's doing that, I'll let you know the earliest toy trains, they were made of lead, and they had no moving parts. Some had wheels that turned, but they had to be pushed or pulled.
Yeah.
Now, a few of the early 19th century push toy trains, they were made of tin plate. Like the large locomotives in the U.S., and they were painted red or gold. Now, in 1875, they had advances in the materials and the manufacturing techniques, which we've talked about several times with other toys, that allowed them rolled out and stamped. And so, that's when they could mass produce them. They really got caught on that. But now they were revolutionized when Marklin, which we've talked about a couple of weeks ago, which was a German toy company, the ones that started out with the dollhouses. They were trying to create equivalent toys for boys where they could get a good revenue stream, and that's what they, in addition to those box sets containing a train and track, they started selling extra track, rolling stock, the buildings.
And by the way, Ronnie's voice today is a little shaky because he has allergies.
It's about gone.
And it gets him every year.
About this time every year. And
You do know sign language, right? Because we are on TV.
I was thinking about,
Yeah, okay.
something like that. Now, electric trains was the next innovation. They came out in 1897. They were produced by the U.S. firm of Carlisle and Finch, which was a name I hadn't heard before. Had you?
Yeah.
I hadn't either. Maybe we could look up Carlisle and Finch. I bet they'll bring some money, since it was the first. Okay, as the residential use of electricity became more common, electric trains gained popularity as time went on. and they just grew in sophistication, you know, because they added lights. They allowed them to change direction, go back and forth, switching
Do
stations.
your eBay on that, and you'll find a lot of those sold on there.
Prior to the 50s, there was little distinction between toy trains and model railroads. Today, there's a big distinction. The model railroads were toys by definition, pull toys and wind-up trains. They were marketed toward children, and the electric trains were marketed toward the teenagers, particularly teenage boys. It's during the 50s that, you know, the real emphasis on realism started to grow, and they wanted them to be just like the real things. Consumer interest in the trains, it waned a little bit in the late 50s, but it's been resurging since the 90s because of the popularity of Thomas the Tank.
Yeah, I think they were still pretty doggone good in the 60s and early 70s, but then it started fading out, like you said, and then it picked back up in the 90s.
Yes.
Just about every little boy got a train set for Christmas. Just about every boy.
I got one.
I remember getting them around and putting them around the whole Christmas tree. And that thing, and kids wake up with the most exciting thing in the world.
We had one that fit on a 4x8 sheet of plywood that would go up against the wall and fold down over the top of my brother's bed.
Wow. That was a big set.
It was a big set. It had mountain that it would go through and all that kind of stuff.
Tunnels.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you found some Carlisle and Finch stuff.
I have a Carlisle and Finch toy train transformer.
Just the transformer.
Just the transformer for $1,200 with 18 bids on it. It looks in pretty rough shape. A Carlisle and Finch mining locomotive shell, and 2 early cast ore cars for $771 or $711.
Now that doesn't look like it's very big either.
No, and then they've got an engine that's even just for restoration. It's $551 with 25 bids.
That needs work.
Yeah,
that's a lot of interest in that engine.
And a lot of these look like they need work. Tank car and gondola.
But look at the prices and how much interest there is.
$500 and a mining locomotive. Looks like it's a little mine car, which I guess is a locomotive too. $500. And then you find ore cars and
something you put coal in. Or
for $150 seem to run for. And then you 1910 train track that makes a circle, $103.
Just the track.
Just the track that's big enough to make a circle. Yeah.
Lord.
A catalog, 1902 catalog for $94 with 9 bids on that. A switch track for a Carlisle and Finch train, $52 for the switch.
Now, even though what that's bringing there, I bet the Marks is bringing more, even though they were the first.
Well, the Buddy L stuff, he's going to give you some Buddy L prices here.
Oh, yeah, I know that stuff's going to bring
do some Buddy L here.
All right, got Buddy L.
Oh, I tell you what, let's do. What? We only got 1 minute, so why don't we come back and we'll do the Buddy L, and let's take a break now.
All
right, more Let's Talk Antiques on the way. You're listening on Thunder Radio and watching On the Link.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Every week.
Oh, okay,
right.
now we have done a serious study on the break.
Yes.
And what did you come up with?
Well, we learned we're talking about phone numbers and the digits used, or alphanumeric telephone numbers, and you gave the example of the numbers that used to be in this area in Manchester and Tullahoma.
Yeah.
GL
for Tullahoma
and PA was it?
PA8 and GL5.
This example is a community in Lakewood, New Jersey, and they give the example Lakewood 2697. So you take the first 2 letters of Lakewood, and that phone number would be LA 2697.
Oh, you just take just the 2 digits of the lake.
That apparently was a common way to...
They divided it by areas.
All right, so what we've done, Philip has done some extra research, and we come up with this Glendale 5 that I told you in Tullahoma, and what did you find out?
I found out that there's a street in Tullahoma named Glendale, which is probably where the center area where Tullahoma came up with their Glendale 5 from. Mm-hmm. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah, so I don't
say it's a good
which
guess.
is GL5.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you look at GL on the thing, it'll be 455. Now, the PA8, I don't know. Can you pull up a rotary dial on your... Pull up just a rotary dial, phone rotary dial, and you'll see that.
Let's see if there's a picture of one.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can pull you one up.
There we go.
All right, now, if you look at PA8, see if that won't be 728.
728.
All right, now GL5, see if that ain't 455.
455.
G.
4.
L.
5.
And then you do another 5. So see, there you are. That's how it works. Ain't that amazing?
Ain't that interesting?
Yeah.
I learned something today. I learned something anyway that I didn't know. I like to learn something.
I don't know what year they went away from that, but even on when I was just a little kid, the phone itself, you know, instead of having 455, it had GL5 on the little card that's in a little round circle on the phone. Mm-hmm. It said GL5, and then had the phone number. But anyway,
it also gives examples of here's a number 3R122, and that was in the days of party lines. So you would dial the line number plus the ring sequence, and that would
get you the right house.
Let someone know who to pick up.
Yeah.
if you should
by
pick
how
up
it
or not.
rang.
That reminds me of my grandmother. She used to pick up and listen in on her sister.
Yeah.
Her name was Lily. And that's some of the funniest things I remember from my childhood, listening in on their phone calls.
You know, and we're sitting here talking about phones, and just about all the regular landline phones are gone. I mean, we still have one at my house.
Oh, look how small.
And we still have one at
the
Jiffy
now.
Burger, but most people
don't have one.
Do you have one?
There,
Do you?
No.
See?
You don't have any reason.
Do you have one at home?
I do not.
Okay. See what I mean?
I remember as soon as you could port your numbers, I had my 723 number put on my cell phone and got rid of my landline.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize you could send your landline number to your cell phone.
You could port any number to them when they first started.
Okay.
I'm sure you still can.
Okay. So telephones have come a long ways, haven't they?
They sure have.
I bet Mayor Curley knew about that GL5. What do you say?
I'll quiz him.
Maybe if he's listening, he'll call in
Yeah,
and
you
tell
want to
us.
quiz him? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you looked up some Buddy L train sets, and that's what we was going to talk about when we come off the break. But
Okay, vintage toy Buddy L outdoor train locomotive, tender and gondola. $1,500 for a buy it now with $100 shipping. They detail about how heavy and that it's been outdoors and it's a little rusty and it's not in incredible shape, but that it's made to do that and so it's okay.
Yeah, but I mean it is rough, and somebody didn't gripe about the 15 either.
buy it now.
There wasn't no best offer.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of pictures of it. Antique Buddy L outdoor train gondola coal car in exceptional condition, $500.
It does
buy
look
now.
good. That metal's shiny.
It looks very nice. Buddy L vintage pressed steel outdoor train car, $460 with 9 bids.
It don't even look complete to me.
Another outdoor train side dump car, rare, $460, 1920s. Another 1920s outdoor train railroad hopper, $450. Buddy L engine locomotive outdoor train, $405 with 19 bids. So these are worth some money. And then,
Yeah,
the cars themselves, just the non-locomotive cars bring $300-400.
And those are still out there to find too.
Okay.
I wonder what the marks are worth.
Well, we can find out real
Yeah,
quick.
I think the marks bring pretty good money.
You gonna do marks?
How do you spell that?
MARX.
So look. Okay, let's see. First, and make sure we're still sold. Okay.
Yeah, you're always when you see green.
Yeah.
It's
You're
absolutely
sold.
so. That's the only time green will pop up.
Marks Ward's diesel train set. Marksville buildings, figures, town, station, and box. $995. Buy it now.
Now that's just
Oh, look at that Bunny Express. How much it brought?
1930s Bunny Express wind-up rabbit train set.
It's the shape of a rabbit.
$1,010.
just a little
How many
wind-up
bids
toy.
it have?
28 bids.
A lot of interest in that one.
And another 2-level train set, freight and passenger complete.
Look how many people bid on that one.
$865 with 43 bids.
That was a hot auction.
Antique pre-war 12-piece Army supply train, $850. Buy it
Actually
now.
has the cannons that goes on the flatbed trailers.
Yeah,
you know,
that's really nice.
and army stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, 12-piece set. So. Army train flat car with working tank searchlight, $800. One bid.
Now, David, is that a flip-over tank he's looking at there?
No, I wouldn't think it would be, Ronnie. I wouldn't. I doubt if it'd have a rollover. But why is it in there? Well, it must be a military. See, it goes on there. It's a military tank.
Yeah, it goes up on. Well, it doesn't look quite like it fits the set, though.
Well, what does the description say?
I think it's just something they're hauling there.
It don't say nothing, does it?
But it looks like one of them old flip rollover tanks.
I don't think it is.
Don't know. Mark's O train, Pennsylvania Central E7 diesel.
But it's a turquoise-looking train.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, a double unit, $710 with 8 bids. Super nice Marks Army Train 1940 box set, 6-piece military, all original, $665.
That's a good looking set.
Well, they've got a lot of sets of these instead of they're not individually.
Well, most kids when they got the train set, they put it back in the box because that's how they stored it. Mm-hmm. So that's how come you end up with so many boxes when it comes to these train sets. That was the place to store the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they had little slots for your track and your cars.
Yes.
Fit right in.
Here's a one with a all-state switcher train set with a rare Army missile launcher rocket with it. $995 with a best offer accepted. Vintage Marks O-scale train set, $999 engine, New York Central, Pennsylvania, Santa Fe, 5 cars, $560 with 10 bids. And then a passenger train set, silver and blue cars, excellent condition, $550. It is.
They do look good. There's one that had 31 bids.
It's a Marks diesel train set, Western Pacific 901, passenger cars, 31 bids. It doesn't say how many cars there are in that
Look
set.
at that next auction there. That'll get you.
And a rare vintage Marks toy train, electric and wind-up, dealer display sign, 6 foot by 4
Inches.
4 inches. It's got to be 6 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$511 with 23 bids. And that's just for the sign,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, this is a sign. That's what got me.
There you go, man. The things that you throw away that you wouldn't realize. So.
There's a pre-war Union Pacific, $455.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's really nice condition. Yeah. And vintage train lot 167 whistle controller, 420 circuit breaker. So it's just all parts for a Marks set for $422.
I'm telling you,
for just spare parts.
There is a lot of trains around.
Yes, there.
But look at that right there. What's that? That's a Rare Ives. That's another company that made trains. It's just a little building, isn't it?
It's a
stained glass station.
What it looks like to me.
18 karat gold stainless glass train station.
18 karat gold.
$400. Buy it now. So it's just the part of the track where they would drive, where the train would go through to load and unload passengers. It's got a couple of benches on it and a nice green glass over the top of it.
That had to be handcrafted.
Trimmed in 18 karat gold. So
16 bids on that Army Depot right there.
Yeah.
Another Army Depot train set.
Yep, and it's got a.
Got a plane? Is that a plane?
It's got a plane or a missile launcher off the back of one of it. Reissued Army train set, $389.
I just think that those Marks trains just really look nice.
They're very nice. And what were all these? What scale were the Marks, or did they have a lot?
I don't think they had standard scales until on up.
I think that's probably
That's why there's so
HO
many.
about
That's why you find some
8 or 10
different
inches
ones.
long or so. Ain't that HO size?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's probably HO size.
Okay. And did they specialize in the Army train sets? Cause
Well,
it seems like
during the war,
we had a lot of them.
Yeah, they figured out that after the war that people like the Army stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they like Army. I mean, 3 things that always sell, and that is planes, trains,
And Army, huh?
well,
And automobiles?
yeah, and automobiles. Those things, if you look them up on eBay, all those as toys, planes, trains, and automobiles, will always bring a lot of money.
That's good to know. Everybody pay attention to that.
Yeah. So if you happen to have a Marks train set stuck away in the closet, they bring around $400.
You got some money.
Just
There's a lot of them out there too.
This
I mean, a lot of
would
them.
excite any child.
Well, but if you got,
The smoke from the engine and all
yeah, they
that
actually,
stuff, it was amazing.
and they whistled.
Yeah.
They had little stuff you'd pour in there and make
Yeah.
it smoke.
Yeah.
It was amazing what they done
Well,
with
but
this
that
thing.
bunny train is I mean, it's the shape of a rabbit. Brought $1,000 with about 4 cars with it. What's that say on that description? We got to take a break here, and we got 1 minute. Can you read fast? Well, I guess you can. There ain't that much description. No, here. Right.
Oh, there we go.
1930s Bunny Express.
Wind up 10 litho rabbit train set. Includes a rabbit locomotive and 4 Bunny Express hopper cars.
I think somebody wanted that.
It's
They
been,
just wanted it.
They bring the money.
been graded
They all
at
do.
C6. Cars have scratches and nicks. The overall appearance may be improved with the gentle and thorough cleaning, but they're not going to clean it to mess up anything.
And I'll tell you something else, and I know we got to take a break here real quick, but they made a pink train, and for girls.
For girls,
And they're
yeah.
real rare. I don't know if it was Marks or Lionel that made it, but they are high dollar too.
I bet they are, because I've never seen one.
Ain't neither.
All right, with that, we got to take a break.
Stay tuned for more Let's Talk Antiques on The Link and Thunder Radio.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
All right, we're going to have Max back here for too long.
Well, we'll have to wait till he retires again. You know.
He's going to retire again?
Well, I don't know that he will. So we can't, because see, he's on the program right now, so we're working, you know.
Well, Max, if you listening in, you're going to owe us something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now, what we did on the break, we went just to model trains. And you, folks, you're going to be shocked on what a little building brought.
This is going to blow their mind.
We have a Z-scale brown interlocking tower. Now, for those of y'all don't know, Z-scale is the smallest scale. I mean, this thing is probably an inch tall, like an inch cube kind of size. And it is, they sold 30 of these, $22,222.99.
Each,
yes.
We figured that's almost $750,000, a little over 600,000, wasn't it? 660.
So
that's quite a bit of money.
It's crazy, but it is this absolute beautiful little building. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a work of art.
Yeah, but $22,000 worth?
Yeah, no, that's
A
okay.
little amount cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I got about $5 or $6. So
All
anyway,
right. So do that rare.
next highest thing we have is a rare black Lionel Vagel GG1. I don't know. It's a double-sided engine for $15,000 with 80 bids.
80 bids.
Yeah,
That tells you the rarity of it.
and it was a live auction.
Yeah.
People were all over that one.
Final listing, there was an American Flyer S-Gauge custom layout and with trains. It's like a big full set with city and all kinds of stuff. It went for just a hair under $9,000.
It's really in detail too.
It's a nice full set.
So a hair is $50. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
$50
there
a
you
hair.
go. Yeah,
Okay, so I just want to know what a hair is when you're talking.
When we're talking about $9,000,
That's $50, okay.
You can let 50
Go
go
ahead.
either way. Lionel standard gauge 390 Blue Comet set in excellent condition, with some $8,500. Buy it now.
No
So
June.
that's-
So that-
Somebody jumped all over.
Engine, 3 cars, and a coal car.
they didn't even try to negotiate no price.
That must have been a good deal.
HO Mint Brass Rail Classics New Haven 10 car Merchants Limited Set. $8,277 with 9 bids. A 1 gauge Bockholt BR03 steam locomotive with tender. It was $12,000 with best offer accepted. Lionel pre-war O gauge 700E scale Hudson with tender boxed, $6,900 with 17 bids.
A lot of interest in that one too.
And then you have a Lionel standard gauge 9U locomotive in original box with Build-A-Loco tracks, $6,350. Man,
Still brings the money, don't it?
that is with 2 bids. So two people really wanted that. Concours N scale Liberty Bell A and B locomotives. Well, that's $80.
That
I don't
looks
know.
like
That
some
kind
newer
of
stuff
dropped
to me.
in something odd
Yeah,
price in there.
well, yeah. Every once in a while you'll get that.
Okay. Overland Models coal turbine, just under $6,000. Fantastic Lionel pre-war standard gauge Blue Comet set, $5,600 with 21 bids on that one.
And it looks good too. It really looks nice.
O-Car and Locomotive Southern Pacific 5000 class, $5,005 with 2 bids. Ronnie, do we need to jump over to you for your
All right.
gun? I don't
Yeah,
know.
we got about 4 minutes left. We
Okay.
need to talk about the smallest gun in the world.
I have a really, really interesting story
We'll get it.
from London. The smallest gun in the world, no bigger than the size of an average fingernail, sold in an online auction for $7,543. That was nearly 4 times its top estimate. It sold after 36 bids.
You said it was a ring. It actually said, instead of having a set, that the gun actually sat on top where the set would be.
It's extremely rare 19th century French ring gun designed and worn as jewelry. According to a firearms website, the ring generates less force than a modern day pellet gun, which I was saying earlier.
But it would go through one side of a tin can, it said.
Why, a pellet?
That's what it
Yeah.
said there.
It was first documented, it's the first documented example of a firearm designed for a ring. Sitting on top, where the jewel would be set in the stone. The recoil plate serves as the base for the cylinder. It's filled with live rounds. It's fired straight from the end. And what you do is you take a little screwdriver, like you would work on your glasses with, and you take the side of it off, and you load it. Put your
Is it
screws
pin
back
fire?
in. It's cap fire.
Yeah, pin fire.
Yeah, it is. But I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, I mean, a gun
that was-
no bigger than. I mean, I've got a ring on, so
Yeah. What would that be? Maybe
about the size
a
of.
half inch, maybe?
Well, it said
If that?
smaller than a fingernail,
Yeah.
so that's a.
How much damage could you do with this gun?
Well,
Depends on where you hit them.
Well, it said it would go through a tin can on one side. It wouldn't go through both sides. So, I mean, that's a pretty good little force. If you shot somebody in the eye or something, or
Yeah. It's enough to get somebody off
say,
of
look
you.
right here, look at my ring.
Ain't that something?
Well, that would get them every time. Say, look at my ring.
Shoot them around the eye with it.
What was that? Movie about? They wouldn't let him get the Red Ryder BB gun because they was afraid he'd shoot his eye out. You remember that? The Christmas
Yeah.
store.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah. Well, with that, you sure didn't take no 4 minutes.
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
Can I throw one
I
more
read-
train in that I
Yeah.
found?
Let's. All right. All right. We got one more train.
I got one more
and we're
train
getting
I
out of
found.
here.
This is an actual coal-fired train.
Oh, wow.
And it's $4,200. And running time depends on water and coal feedings, but it will run all day if you keep the ash cleared and stuff. It doesn't say what size it is. Oh, it's a K? I don't know. But that's just amazing to me that there's an actual coal-fired
It'll run all day on a
toy
little
train.
coal.
Yeah.
Hillary's gonna put them out of business.
Yeah,
There's
remember
no
she
way. You
said
have
that.
to make your own coal. Yeah.
I think she got the message though when she told him that.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we got to get out of here.
All right, we'll do it again next week. We are live Wednesdays at 10 o'clock on Thunder Radio. You're watching on the link and listening live on Thunder Radio.